Welcome to Martini Time. Been a beautiful day. The sun is out. The last remnants of Florence, I think, passed through here today with some drenching rains. And now we're in for hopefully a dry out. And so I went to Walmart today. The title of this talk is The Walmart Revelation. So I went to Walmart, and as I was getting in there, some people, a couple noticed my jade Buddha. It's not really a Buddha. It's there. You can see that little jade. I thought it was a Buddha. It's Kuan Yin. But nevertheless, a friend of mine found this when she was touring China behind an outhouse at a Tibetan monastery on the edge of Tibet called Shangri-La. And she found this in the dirt. And I know it's authentic because it doesn't have Made in China on the back. But anyway, I wear it. Kuan Yin is the bodhisattva of compassion. And it's the blood, you know, the colors of blood, compassion. And so I always wear this. So anyway, I was off to a good start when I went to Walmart because this couple noticed it. And I got to tell them how I got it. You know, I always like, once in a while somebody notices it, you know, oh, that's interesting. And then I get to tell them my story, you see. Who knows how old this is? It could be 1,000 years old, I don't know. And maybe it's passed from one person to another. So when it's time for me to pass it on, I'll lose it. And somebody else will find it and say, oh, I found this jade Buddha on the grass. I must be blessed. So anyway, so what is the Walmart Revelation? So then I went to fill out my little list, which I always is kind of like the challenge of a treasure hunt. Like I feel like I'm Indiana Jones trying to read the shopping list and bring everything back, you know, like, and not like Jack and the Beanstalk, who went to the store for his mother and traded everything for some beans. So I did come back. I did complete the list. However, I wanted to get some Oreos. So I found the Oreos, and it was a complete big shelf of all these different choices of Oreos. And I bet I worked that shelf for 5 minutes, and I never could find just plain Oreos. It was big Oreos, thin Oreos, mint Oreos, flavored Oreos, multiple Oreos, but no original Oreo. So I just took a picture of it and came back home. And then I've been reading, my reading this afternoon has been the Original Wisdom by Robert Wolff, W-U-L-F-F. I had read this book years ago, and for some reason I had an urge to read it again. It's kind of like that, you know. You just get, I feel like reading that again. Must be something in it. And sure enough there was, because he's talking about original knowing, or original wisdom. I talk about this a lot. I call it body knowing, body wisdom. In Zen, it's called prajna. The Heart Sutra is about the awakening of prajna. In yoga, it's called jnana, knowledge, body knowing, original wisdom. Artists know it as the muse. The muse wrote it. I didn't do this, you see. Spiritual people call it speaking as Holy Spirit. So whatever it is, it does you. It feels like it does you because you're not choosing to do it. So I got to thinking about choice. Now, one of my favorite movies, it's ironic that it's my favorite movies because it won the Best Picture award from my favorite movie, which is Avatar. So that movie is Hurt Locker. And it's all about the choiceless choice. Krishnamurti talked about that. The choiceless choice. That's a paradox. You see, that's ambiguous. What does that mean? Choiceless choice, you see. So the I forgot my watch, so I don't know how long I'm talking. But anyway, Robert Wolfe writes about these Aboriginal tribe in Malaysia that he befriended, and they're all extinct now. But anyway, when he wrote this book and this study, they were there. He went and learned their language, and he learned that they were living in an original knowing that has been forgotten by civilization, kind of like civilization is an overlay over this original knowing that is always there, but it's buried like under a landfill of choices. You notice that in our culture, the whole thing really runs on choice. How many choices do you have? Unless we have choices, you're not free, we think. Freedom means having choices. Is that really what freedom is? Do we ever question that? And choices are offered by culture. So I can only choose what Oreos are on the shelf. I can't choose a martini Oreo. I think I'll have a sip here. You see what I mean? I can't choose that. It's not on the shelf. So we can only choose what our reality offers us. And reality is seen through the filter or buffer of culture, Western culture. These Aboriginal tribes don't live. They're pre-culture, pre-civilization. So they live like humanity's lived for hundreds of thousands of years. So they're hunter-gatherers. So they don't choose to do this or that. They just do it. One of the things that this Robert Wolfe noticed, that whenever he went to the little road, the little trail that led to this remote Aboriginal, they called themselves the people, went to visit them, there was always a tribe member waiting. How did you know there's no phone. I didn't tell you when I was coming. There was no schedule. And they just, I don't know. I'm just here. So that the hunter-gatherer life is basically a reality in which you just gather, or if you're hungry, you just go somewhere and you don't realize why you're going, and there's the fruit. Or if you want to hunt something, you just go out and there's the prey. In other words, reality is your friend. The world is not hostile. You are in a harmony with your reality so that you don't have to choose anything. You just do what's given. Now, we call that the Garden of Eden. So, you just do what's given, you see. You don't need to. What happens when we make a choice? Well, there has to be a chooser. So our culture says, well, the chooser is who you are. You're free because you are a chooser. But in order to be a chooser, there has to be two. If there's only one, there's nothing to choose. There has to be two. So everything that rises in our civilization comes in pairs, at least two, like a Noah's Ark. Now choose, which one do you want, you see? Do you want vanilla or chocolate? And this is confusing to original knowing, because original knowing just takes it. In other words, there is no, I want vanilla. Or no, if vanilla's there, you take, in other words, you choose what's given. This is the one of the disciplines of Buddhist monks in the Buddhist tradition of the begging bowl. So you would have, I don't know what it's called, a begging bowl. You would out once a day, and you would offer the bowl to the people in the community, and they would put food in it, and you ate what was given. If no one put any food in there, you didn't eat. You never said, oh, do you have any crackers with that? You see, there was just, thank you. So this original knowing basically is an innocent way of being in the world that just takes what's given. Joyously. You joyously take what's given. You don't complain. There's no regret. There's no guilt because you took the wrong thing. There's no hostility because you are not giving me anything. There's no anxiety about the future. Oh, well, maybe nobody will give me anything in the future. Or there's no guilt because, well, I didn't take it. I didn't take it when it was offered. All of that's gone. You just live in a world where you choose what's given. So there is no debate. It's very interesting. So I'm writing about this, exploring this idea. So visit me on Facebook and let's continue the dialogue. Thanks for dropping in.